Start today's news. Jammu Kashmir Governor dissolves Legislative Assembly. Jammu Kashmir Governor dissolves Legislative Assembly. Jammu Kashmir is in the governor's rule. See, in India, there is a word called governor's rule only for Kashmir. In other states, it is called president's rule. The president's rule for the first 6 months in Kashmir is called governor's rule. Okay, for the first 6 months, the president's rule is named as governor's rule. The only state which have governor's rule name in India is Kashmir. As you all know, there were contrasting claims for the formation of government between various political parties and alliances. One side alliance with BJP, Congress, PDP and other things. So, for all these reasons, it was a political strategy. Okay. Then next, one American citizen got killed by Andaman tribals. An American citizen got killed by Andaman tribals. See, in Andaman Nicobar Islands, there were primitive tribes. Example, Sentinelese, example, Jarvas, so Orions. There are many tribals located there. So, there were certain tribes who do not see the mainstream society. They were still in the primitive stage. One such tribal group was Sentinelese. Sentinelese. One such tribal group is Sentinelese. They live in the North Sentinel Island. They live in the North Sentinel Island. They were aggressively protect their isolation. They will protect their isolation. They never like other human streams to come into their place. Attempts to contact them was made in 1970s and 1990s. Even during British period, Britishers tried to contact them, but still in vain. There are many people who got succumbed to injuries and death also. Attack using bow and arrow. They used to use bow and arrow. In 2006, they have killed 2 fishermen. In 2006, they have killed 2 fishermen who slept overnight in their boat. In the 13th century, Marco Polo described them. Marco Polo, a traveler, described them as generation most violent and cruel. They are the generation most violent and cruel. Eats everybody they catch. Eats everybody they catch. According to 2011 census of India, there are 10 households in the island. There are 10 households in North Sentinelese Island and 12 males and 3 females. 12 males and 3 females. And actually in 2017 in a question in Rajya Sabha, the reply is properly we don't know about their strength because nobody can enter into the island, otherwise it is very dangerous. So, concerns that in 2004 tsunami many families died in the island in North Sentinelese. After 2004 tsunami many families died in the island also, and legal protection is there for them. For them legal protection is there. We should not go in that island even within 5 kilometers radius of that place, of that shore. And Jaravas, Great Andamanese, Onge, Onge and other tribals also exist in that area. So, this now again Sentinelese tribes have come into news because an American who was an adventurer got killed by Sentinelese. He was got killed. This was a dangerous situation. Now it's a high time that by some method we have to develop contact and bring them to the civilization mode. Next important article, as you all know, Jammu Kashmir Legislative Assembly got dissolved and Governor Satyapal Malik. So ruling government party PDP plus BJP coalition, People's Democratic Party. Now BJP withdraw support to Mehbooba Mufti in July. Then we have President's rule. Then dissolve State Assembly according to section 53 of Jammu Kashmir Constitution. Dissolve State Assembly according to section 53 of Jammu Kashmir Constitution. There was extensive horse trading, coalition politics. So finally it was completely done away. Next important article, Mary Kom, the famous boxer, is all set to win 6th gold in her boxing championship. She is all set to win 6th gold medal. She might win. Now she has come into finals in Women World's Boxing Championship. 35 years old Mary Kom, also a mother. She is now working on the final round for boxing championship, all world women championship. It's really great. Coming back, we have Point Calimere, a bird sanctuary. Point Calimere, a bird sanctuary, is looking like a deserted zone. Is looking like a desert zone. Where is Point Calimere located? Tamil Nadu. Point Calimere, Calimere. It is in Tamil Nadu and there is a bird sanctuary. Because of Gaza cyclone, the birds died and birds left the place. It is like a complete disaster zone, and now disasters not only affecting human beings and property but also flora and fauna. Disasters not only affecting the humans but they are also affecting the flora and fauna. And coming to today's editorials and news. Anti-Sikh rights issue. As you all know, in 1984 we have a movement called Khalistan, separate nation. After that there were anti-Sikh rights after the death of Indira Gandhi. So finally 2 men were convicted for in the anti-Sikh rights program recent past. Justice after a long time. Conviction after a long time, 34 years of time. 1984 to 2018, 34 years long time. So what we need is expediting the criminal judicial system, criminal justice system. Delayed justice is nothing but denied justice. We want to speed up criminal justice system, particularly with respect to such mob violence and communal violence and other issues. The culprit should be booked very fast. This should be the message which we have to take from this article. Next important article, the Reserve Bank of India concedes a vital principle. The RBI, Reserve Bank of India, concedes, CONCEDES, concedes a vital principle. What do you mean by concede? Agree that something is true. What do you mean by concede? Agree that something is true. Reserve Bank agreed some vital principle. This is the meaning of the heading. Okay. The principle which Reserve Bank agreed according to other is, recently on November 19th we had a board meeting of Reserve Bank board meeting. In that Reserve Bank have conceded and discussed many things with the board, and all the regulations, all the principles which they have evolved, all the policy making was brought through board deliberations, rather than Reserve Bank governor taking the decision. Out of 4, 3 decisions in the noting was said to be made after consulting with after discussing with the board. That itself is a very big achievement. It is not Reserve Bank as a bank, but Reserve Bank along with the board now is taking vital decisions. One more thing, there is an article, there is an issue in the article, economic capital framework. See, surplus money which Reserve Bank had, whether entire money should be with the Reserve Bank, whether there should be sharing between Reserve Bank and the government. Now government is facing fiscal deficit, so government is expecting that Reserve Bank have around 9 lakh crores. Now government is expecting around 6 or 7 from the Reserve Bank. For that they wanted to constitute a committee, how this should happen. But the other is saying that all this money which Reserve Bank have is not the money completely at the choice of Reserve Bank also. These reserves are of 2 types. The reserves which the Reserve Bank have can be divided of 2 types: revaluation reserves and contingency reserves. Revaluation reserves and contingency reserves. Revaluation reserves means when rupee depreciates, in such incidents, the reserves will be useful. In contingency reserves, when there is some emergency or banking system in all these things, contingency reserves will be used. So, it is not that as and when Reserve Bank can surrender these funds, as and when government can use these funds, they are meant for a purpose, revaluation reserves and contingency reserves, and for free flow of bank credits this is needed. And one more thing, in the recent board meeting, we have to give extended support to small and medium industries. As we have discussed, Raghuram Rajan already told the Mudra loans are going to be fatal for the economy. They are going to create new NPA problem. And in the board meeting, they also agreed to help the weak banks, to be liberal with the weak banks. If the banking system is not strong, again it will be a problem. For all these reasons, they wanted to have better financial discipline. That's called PCA, Prompt Corrective Action. PCA, Prompt Corrective Action. But so both government and Reserve Bank got mellowed down to an extent, have come to some conclusions. Let's see how this mechanism is going to work out. Next article, War Without End. War Without End. In Kabul, Afghanistan capital, human bomb killed 55 people. 55 people. On the one side, in Moscow, discussions are going on for peace between Taliban and Afghanistan government, High Peace Council, between Taliban and Afghanistan Council. Even India is also participating in peace in Afghanistan. But now see, there is an urgent need to draw some line of peace in Afghanistan, as it is taking toll of many lives. It is taking toll of many lives. So, there is an immediate need. And for India, peace in neighborhood is always in India's interest. Our neighborhood should be very peaceful, and terrorism anywhere is a threat to security to the entire region. Terrorism anywhere is a threat to security to the entire region. So, this Moscow format, Moscow talks should be followed up carefully, and we all should try, all the government should try to establish peace between Taliban and Afghanistan government. And retweeting Brahmanical patriarchy, I don't want to discuss this article. Okay. Next article, Getting Justice for Asia Bibi. Getting Justice for Asia Bibi. 1 week back, we got an article in Hindu, lead article, comparing Shabarimala judgment and Asia Bibi judgment. Comparing Shabarimala judgment and Asia Bibi judgment. Okay. See, both are progressive judgments. Asia Bibi was convicted by the lower court under blasphemy law. That means doing against God, talking against God. Now, recently the Pakistan Supreme Court have told her she was not a convict. The court declared her as not guilty. Okay. Now the question is, Pakistan Orthodox authorities, they are not securing her. In fact, they wanted to. They are trying to threaten her. So, she is trying to get some asylum in some other country. Countries like Canada are ready to provide asylum to her. But how to cross the borders is the biggest issue for Asia Bibi. Is the biggest issue for Asia Bibi. So, let us see how Pakistan is going to protect Asia Bibi. So, this is the other thing. And the last important article today is the post and the person. The last important article today is the post and the person, in the center page of Hindu. Recently, a PIL, public interest litigation, is filed in the Supreme Court with respect to Election Commission of India. The litigation says, the PIL says, Election Commission of India should be made more independent body. the election commissioner and chief election commissioner should not be government appointees. There should be independent body to appoint them. And one more thing you have to remember is, even CEC will be removed like a judge of Supreme Court through Parliament, but ECs, that is election commissioners, will be removed on the recommendation of CEC. So all these procedures should be changed. Basically, the PAL was filed that CEC appointment and EC's appointment should not be the political appointments. There should be independent body to appoint them. That was the contention. Free and fair elections are the backbone of democracy, and independent body should appointment so that ECs and CECs will not be under political influence. That was the thing. Let us wait and see what type of judgment we are going to get for this PAL. Okay. These are the important current affairs in the newspaper.